Ever gone through cycles in your life where you're constantly thinking about what you're called to do? Like, what is my purpose? What am I gonna do career-wise? And what type of lifestyle do I wanna live? Well, I've experienced that many, many times in my life. And there are points where I felt confident about the direction I was going in, and other seasons of life where I was just clueless as to what to do. And over the past 4 years of an online fitness coach, I've been trying to dial in like the right type of people that I want to work with. Because although it's great that you want to help all kinds of people. As they say, you're not really like a specialist. You don't really specialize in a specific thing. You're more of like a generalist. It's like, for example, you're a doctor who kind of helps all types of different sicknesses in people. I kind of want to be a doctor, but specializes in a specific area. For example, like a brain surgeon. They devote their lives to learning all about the brain, and so that they can help people who have brain problems. And so that's kind of the direction that I want to go in, specifically where before I was training and focusing on beginners, guys who are just getting started and who want to sort of build that next foundation to get started in life with their health and fitness goals as a beginner. And now in the season of my life, I am coming to a point where more of the dots, as you can say, are coming to alignment. They're starting to connect better, and I'm starting to realize, wow, like it's almost a realization, or call it a revelation if you want to say, that I've had this eye-opening moment just recently of what I'm called to do and called to be. And so, long story short, you guys might have seen my Instagram, but I am now on a new mission, which I feel so much peace about and such a sense of direction. I want to help other men grow in discipline, specifically in their spiritual life as well as their fitness life. Good news, we're not getting rid of fitness entirely, but we are also focusing more specifically and intentionally with men who want to grow spiritually and physically. With that said, here's our new mission, and that is, I truly feel called to help men go in their discipline, in their faith and fitness, and truly live out their calling and who God has called them to be. I appreciate just the love and support, and I think that this video is very necessary to kind of give more of an announcement of the direction we're going in. We just hit 2,100 subscribers, which I'm so thankful for, and I want to continue to grow, but most importantly, I want to use this channel to glorify God. I've been praying about this for a while. Lord, how can I utilize my business to give you more glory, or to have a sense of purpose? Literally yesterday, I had this thought. Let me go on my YouTube channel as a viewer and see what it looks like. So I went ahead and went on to my channel, and to be honest, I was kind of like, okay, what is this channel about? You see things about workouts, you see fitness, you see some of my client testimonials, you'll see unboxing reviews of gym equipment, you'll see nutrition meal plan videos. It's all good stuff, and that's awesome, but I almost felt like the big question was like, what is this channel about? With that said, another piece to the puzzle is the fact that I'm now a part of a men's group in which we're reading a book called Disciplines of a Godly Man. And before this whole new transition, this new mission that I'm on now, I started reading this a couple months ago. And it was a realization that I was just already doing this new transition, and I realized like, wait, we're actually reading a book right now called Disciplines of a Godly Man, and I'm actually leading it. And so it's funny how God works. When you start to give him things, he'll start to align certain things like this in your life to actually make sense. And the picture is getting more and more clear for me as far as what he's calling me to do. And so as a fitness coach, we're going to definitely help people build those disciplines in their physical health. But the idea is that we're also building disciplines in other areas of your life. And so when you have your spiritual life, your mental life, your physical life, and your relationships, your finances, when you're disciplined in all these areas of your life, think about the sort of peak of your life that you could be at. That's what aligns us with Peak Physiquez. When you start to build these habits physically, we can now build them spiritually, financially, relationally, and mentally. Now, the reason I'm making this shift isn't just because, oh, I found my calling. I truly believe that the value in this is being able to disciple other men who truly need it. As we all know, Charlie Kirk, who died a very honorable death, doing what he knew was his calling and what he knew to be true, as well as the impact he knew he had to make, specifically within families, within young men, and just making sure that the gospel was preached. And so, guess you could call it this new sort of wave of Charlie Kirks. I know I'm not the only one sort of sensing this feeling that it's time for truth and men to rise up. And so that is what I feel called to do. Is maybe you're feeling this sense of drive to make something happen, but you're not sure where to start. Well, I feel like because I've been blessed to be where I'm at today and have the influence I have, to use it for God's glory and discipling and leading other men to the truth and figuring out their calling and purpose by building discipline in their fitness and their faith. And so when you start to build discipline, specifically maybe waking up early or spending time with God in the Bible consistently on a daily basis, you're getting your workouts in, or you're eating healthy, you're choosing the right foods, and you're choosing to do the right things on a consistent basis, even though it's hard. You start to build discipline and habits over time that ultimately shape you and grow you, and you build good character. And now you're building those things physically and spiritually. You're becoming this new man of God. And ultimately, it's the man who God called you to be in the first place. So that is why I feel called to this purpose. I want, again, this channel to be about men who are willing and hungry to grow and to build discipline in all areas of life, specifically with their fitness and their faith, and to ultimately fulfill their purpose. I would like to point out a couple verses that touches on the idea of kind of utilizing your time wisely. 1 Peter 4:10 says, "As each one has received a gift, minister it to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God." So he's saying, if you've received a gift, use it to minister to one another as good stewards. So we are given gifts, and God has called us to be good stewards of those gifts. So how do we use the gifts? How are you going to use the gifts that God has given you? He's calling us to minister it to others, to use it to build up others. Another verse that I would like to take a look at is Ephesians 5:15. It says here in Ephesians 5:15, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be unwise, but understand what the Lord's will is." So we must understand what God's will is for our life. And again, you may be on a journey trying to figure that out. I can't remember how many times in the beginning of my walk with God, I've questioned what is His will for my life. And I've been saved for about going on 8 years now, 7 or 8 years. And the idea is that I'm barely still figuring it out. But that's okay, because God isn't gonna just tell you exactly what your future is gonna look like, but He wants you to trust Him and be able to lean on Him. And it's times like this, over time, He will eventually align the dots and show you what it is you're called to do. So just a couple verses to inspire you guys, to encourage you that He's blessed you with these gifts, and how are you called to use them? Well, I'm not sure either, but you're gonna have to figure that out on your own. In my case, I'm called to build up other men and to help them grow in discipline, because the Bible says in 1 Timothy 4:8 that physical training is good, right? It's not a bad thing, right? When we build up our bodies, but it says that afterwards, but training for godliness is much better. So how can we train for godliness? What does that look like? We don't need more influencers. We simply need more leaders. And that is exactly why we're doing the thing. At the end of the day, yes, I'm still going to be posting workouts. I'm still going to be posting nutrition. But all of that is supposed to help you become the man you're supposed to be. So when it comes to being a better husband, and you're waking up early and you're coming here and you're knocking out your workout, you're now ready to go for the day. You knock out whatever work you have, and then you're able to really pour into your family. Same thing when it goes to if you have kids or you desire kids one day. If you're not leading by example and building that discipline, what makes you think you're gonna do it when you're more busy, tired, and have less time when you have a family? I always say, and you may be a father, you may be a husband now, I'm not saying it's too late, but if you're actually single as a Christian man and you're trying to get your life together before you end up having a wife and some kids, get down the important things now. Build up yourself by building discipline, good habits now, so that when you do get married and so that when you do have kids, it'll be a whole lot easier because that sort of routine and discipline is already instilled into you. It's already habits into your life. So I'm just honestly stoked to be able to start this new journey, this new chapter, to be able to fulfill not only my mission, but to help you fulfill yours. So if you're a Christian man and you're really just feeling lost, whether that's in the gym, you're spiritually starving or spiritually blind, and you're not really sure which direction to go ahead and like and subscribe. Join this new channel and its purpose to help grow and make this more aware that we Christian men need help. And I just read in that book, Disciplines of a Godly Man, this chapter is about friendship. And I just learned that from the top psychologists, they did a study, and only about 10% of men actually have any real friends. And how mind-blowing is that? Us men, we think we can handle it on our own. We think we can just be super passive about it and not really express our feelings. We're naturally not built like that compared to women, where they're a lot more emotional and open to sharing their feelings. Whereas men, we like to hide it. We like to just kind of have the sense of pride that we don't need anyone, we can take care of it ourselves. But is that really true strength? And the reality is not. True strength comes from actually opening up, being vulnerable, admitting that we need help, admitting that we may be wrong sometimes, and allowing God and those around us who are good examples to pour into our lives. And so that's what I'm here for. I'm here to hold you accountable, to help you grow in discipline in both your faith and fitness. So again, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm so excited to have you guys part of this journey. I'm gonna get this workout in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Like always, God bless.